Hello. Cheers, Kevin here. How are you doing? Welcome back to the main channel where I just ramble at you for a little bit and something results, and then I take the things out of the camera and the recorder, and then I put them in the computer, and then I mix them up, and then I try to do some primitive color correction, then I upload it, and then you guys get to comment on it. Plan? Cool. Okay. Hi. Quick audio announcement. I'm using a different mic thing, so the audio may sound a little bit different, but also people have been experiencing some audio desync issues across a bunch of different videos, across a bunch of different channels. Now, I have had occasional problems with audio, like, oh no, I lost this reference track, and so I'm trying to manually sync some stuff up, but these issues seem to be, I'm having people report that like, oh, this drifts out of sync, but then if I refresh, it's fine, which is really confusing to me. This seems like this could be a YouTube thing, or it could be something that I'm doing weird that I just don't know about, because I'm not seeing this. I am previewing my videos, and I'm not seeing the audio desync. As a favor to me, if you do notice audio desync on anything that I'm doing, would you do me a favor and just leave a comment or tweet me with the video? Let me know the duration, so that wherever the time marker is, and generally, like, this is 5 minutes off, or like it's a little, it's noticeable, because I'm not able to catch it. I think one person mentioned, and then a bunch of people chimed in like, oh my god, I thought that was just me. So I think there's a little bystander effect stuff going on. Please help me make better stuff. I want to be making better stuff. Speaking of stuff, which I guess I have an aversion to saying content. Content seems weird. Yeah, making lots of stuff. Stuff is going well. In a certain sense. I'm still making a lot of stuff. I'm getting stuff uploaded. I'm getting stuff out there. But I have a question about stuff. I just don't want to say content. Content is, it's a dirty word. This is what I imagine dirty to be like, I guess, apparently. I don't know. Here's a question. When do you quit? Now, it's not a scary question, like not implying that I'm looking at quitting anything, but there is a question in the back of my mind with certain projects that I think are not going well, or maybe I'm not in the right place to be doing just yet, or I don't have the skills quite to do, or just I need to ramp things down. I'm trying too hard in a particular area and want to work harder in another area, and I've talked a lot about systems, right? My whole way of trying to motivate myself to get a bunch of stuff done. And it's working really well, right? I'm producing a lot of content, getting a lot of stuff out there. The quality is improving over time, slowly, slower in some areas than I would like. I'm still working on trying to set up like that whole deliberate practice, like feedback loop for a lot of this sort of stuff. But it's incredible how, like, edit a podcast passively for a long time, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I hear the difference in the EQ, we've got to take that band down, we've got to bump this in, and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that I knew this. But all of a sudden, just because there's that whole exposure thing and you're just learning, you're picking things up in the back of your brain. But so I have systems that will help me stick to things even when I'm not motivated to do them. But there are some things that I'm doing where the thought has come up in the back of my mind and goes, maybe you need to put this on hold for a while, or maybe you need to ramp this particular thing down and spend more energy somewhere else. Now, this isn't a Kevin wants to shut down all these things type of thing. This is a question of, you always want to be doing and trying new things, right? So you have to free up some time to try those things. And so what goes? NaNoWriMo's coming up, right? You're gonna need time for that if you're gonna do that, Kevin. So what's going? It's not gonna be sleep. You can try to cut out sleep. Sleep will get you. Sleep will pick it up on the other end and be like, ha, you thought you were only gonna sleep for 4 hours. You slept for 12. So that's not a viable strategy. But you need to eventually cycle through various projects and go like, all right, we'll put this one away for a little bit. Particularly things like pseudo songs. I've really been unhappy when I'm putting stuff up, because I'll sit down and I'll try and play and it doesn't come out well, and my finger dexterity is not good, and my wrist is hurting, and I hear things in my head that don't come out on the keyboard, and even then the things that I hear in my head, I feel like, no, that's just repeating what you did before, and it's frustrating, and I don't entirely know how to address it. And there's a part of my brain that's like, you know what, maybe this is a good time to just put that on hold for a while, and you can work on like learning some classical stuff, working on finger exercises, trying to get your dexterity back, trying to expose yourself to other types of music, and just work things that way. But that would mean breaking a rule, or saying this is the end of the rule of upload something for this thing on Saturdays. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to distinguish, right? Because I've been working so hard to make sure that I am resilient against exactly that type of voice. That type of voice is just one variant of the, hey, stop trying cadre of voices. There's a chorus of different voices that say, hey, stop doing things. One is, I'm tired. One is, you've been working so hard, you deserve to just take some time off. It's fine. You'll be fine. There are all these voices. One of those voices is incredibly reasonable. So, I think probably the best thing to do, both for you as a person and for the people who are listening to this, and just for the success of this project, is for you to take a little time to step back and consider. And it sounds very, very reasonable, but sometimes that voice is a lying, scheming jerkface. But sometimes the voice is right. And I don't know how to distinguish between those. I don't know what sort of system you can put in place that helps you distinguish between those two things. I have no idea. I don't even know how to stay centered in the camera. I have no idea what to do. Maybe I'm supposed to be ramping down the amount of stuff that I'm doing on the gaming channel. Maybe I'm supposed to say this booktube stuff is just, it's really hard, and I'm not a literary critic. I shouldn't be doing this. I just enjoy books, but I don't have intriguing thoughts about them. I don't know. Everything that I'm doing right now is subject to criticism and evaluation. Right? It's important to get better at things, to evaluate them and go, this is not working particularly well, and then try and figure out what can I do to make it better. But that system can work, but eventually there is some point where you go, maybe this isn't the best place I could be spending my time. Maybe I should be spending more of my time doing something else that is a little bit more productive and useful. And so trying to set, I'm struggling to try and figure out a reliable system for exit ramps, right? I mean, that's basically what I need, is just exit ramps for particular things. Not in a, that counts as a failure now. Just as we got to just table this for a while. This thing is going off the table for a while. Now, if I just said, what if, if the exit ramp is just, do you feel like not doing it? Well, then get a lot of days. I would cancel everything, right? Not everything, but I'd be like, no, I don't feel like recording this thing, so we're done with that, I guess. Even though there are things that I enjoy very much, and I'm very glad to when I have them done. I'm very glad once I start doing them. Meditation is that way for me. If I only meditated on days where I was super pumped to start meditating, would never meditate. I always enjoy meditating, and I always enjoy having meditated, but I would never start because I don't want to go sit down. I'll get distracted, and I'll feel bad, and blah 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 blah. So I guess I pass that question on to you. How do you know when to quit? How do you decide when that is an appropriate decision to make? And how do you distinguish between the voice of a quitter and the voice of a rational decision maker? And perhaps even then, how do you make the decision and then not feel guilty about the choice that you've made? Because it's still, I think it's very hard, even if it is the best decision to say, we're going to put this thing on hold, or we're going to ramp this thing down, or we're going to scale back or on whatever, it's going to be very hard to make that decision and then feel like, oh man, I think I got conned by the negativity chorus. I think I listened to them by accident. It's hard. I think the best that I've come up with right now is like, all right, well, maybe we'll say Sunday is like a review day, and we'll sit down and be like, should I quit this? And I'll be like, yes. And then I'll be like, all right, we'll just wait until I have 4 consecutive weeks where I say yes to that thing. I don't know. I don't know what's reasonable. If you have strategies, please help me out. This is my big, this is the big gap in what's working well for me. And until that, it's eventually going to get to a point where I'm going to be so busy just doing the stuff that that I'm currently doing that it means I can't grow or try out any new things because all of my time is going to be occupied. Someone will be like, hey, do you want to go out for dinner? I'd be like, with what time? I can't find a free hour. Everything is already occupied and I'm not allowed to stop doing any of them, right? Anyway. So some updates real quick on the weight. I've started shedding some pounds again, which is great. It's very exciting. I'm so thrilled. I never really got to the point where I was like, I gotta go off the diet or anything, but I'm down to 314 and some fraction pounds, which is really exciting. 313 is kind of the next milestone for me. It's a weird milestone, but that was the bottom weight that I achieved when I was dieting back in 2010. So 6 years ago, when I was losing weight from like 340 pounds, I got down to 313, and of course then slowly crawled my way back up. But that was the trough of that. So we're looking to obliterate that, and then I don't have any more data. I don't have data that goes back any further than that. I don't think I really did any sort of serious dieting prior to that. I mean, I did some casual dieting prior to that, but so pretty much we're back to, once we get down below there, we're back to just various states of college. And then once we're below 300, oh man, below 300. I can't remember being below 300, and that's going to be so fun. It's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. Oh boy, and I'm feeling a lot better. Not in any there's no part of my body that I'm like, oh yeah, that's better. My back still has issues, and I still have chafing. I still, my feet are still weird, and but like in general, I'm like, oh my gosh, I still have energy. I thought I spent it all by like getting up. Like I'm starting to forget what it was like to be my large size, and I'm trying really hard not to forget, because you acclimate, right? You acclimate to the situation that you're in. But I want to remember just how much energy I didn't have. The idea that I can work for like, I can do 12 hours of work. I could varying between like day job stuff and video editing stuff and writing and piano and more video and more day job and all of this junk. I can go through like 12 hours of that and then get up and be like, all right, well, I'm not tired yet. Why don't I do something for 2-3 hours? Back when I was in New York, making videos was so hard because all I wanted to do at the end of a workday, like that's it. That's it for the day. It's the workday, and then there's food, and then I can maybe sit and watch TV and just try and stay awake, but I'm going to have to pass out. Or, play video games, or just do really casual, like no mental effort. I have so much more mental energy now, and it's feeling really fantastic. I am trying to figure out, so I'm still operating at a pretty heavy calorie deficit. This is another question of, eventually I'm going to have to quit that too. I'm going to have to say, all right, it's time to bump the calories up a little bit, because, you're running out of fat to eat. It's a ways off. But at some point I'll have to say, all right, we're going to go from this 2-meal system to, trying to supplement that with some additional calories and get this thing back to something that's a little closer to stable. It's going to be hard to figure that out as well. It's part of why this is a big pressing issue. The last thing I want to mention is that I've been doing an awful lot of live streaming over on Twitch, twitch.tv/CheersKevin. I've been doing Twitch Creative, so I've been basically just programming. Although really the goal has been to work on not so much the programming, but on building some tools to help with YouTube stuff, but also just hanging out with people. I don't know, hopping on the live stream and hanging out with people in the chat, and then also, kind of talking through some code stuff, trying to explain what I'm doing, and trying to treat it kind of like a radio show. Just like, don't let there be dead air. And I'm having a lot of fun doing that. I don't have any sort of regular schedule. I'm just doing this for a while so I can figure out like how much of this is too much to the point that I really hate myself. And then we'll scale back from there. But if we end up setting a schedule, I want to just figure out like, am I going to burn out on this? So right now I'm just doing it kind of casually and as I feel like I've got some time. Let's go ahead and do that now. But if you're interested in that sort of thing, I'm over there. A lot of you have been supporting me on Patreon. I just want to say thank you so much for that. It's kind of astounding me. I assume like, all right, maybe one or two people will be like, yeah, Kevin, here, have $1. Nope, a lot of people, and more than $1. That's very gracious of you, and thank you. I hope that you're enjoying. I need to look through and see like who I can identify and what they actually enjoy. Because I'm like, I hope that the stuff that I'm making is stuff that you enjoy. Obviously, I've got the game channel. I've got this. I've got the vlog channel. I've got the BookTube channel, and obviously there's the code making podcast is a separate side thing, and then the pseudo songs, and then now streaming and stuff. Just trying to. I want to. There's the idea that like tell me what you did today and I'll tell you who you are. That I want to live my life not as like a day job program job person who then makes some videos in the evening. I want to be spending the majority of my time on the stuff that I'm passionate about and that excites me, and that is interacting with you guys, trying to entertain you, trying to give you stuff that you enjoy, and I don't know, just trying to help you enjoy your day. So I hope that this video was able to do that a little bit, and thank you to those of you who are able to support it, and for those, whether you support by watching stuff, whether you support on Patreon, whether you support by sharing out the stuff, I really appreciate it. I also need to work on being better about like tagging the videos and actively promoting stuff. I'm still at the point where I feel really uncomfortable going like, please look at my video. I need to start breaking that habit, because hey, if the goal is to help you guys enjoy stuff, then I need to let you know that there's a thing. So anyway, that's what's up with me. Let me know how you're doing down in the comments. Let me know, again, if there are any audio issues, please give me a heads up, because I won't necessarily catch it. And do you watch streams? Are you a stream type of person? I mean, obviously most of the stuff has been gaming up until recently, where Twitch creatives kind of come out. It's been interesting. Is that something that's kind of your bag? What is it that you watch? I'm interested to know, because I'm trying to do, my competitive research, trying to figure all that stuff out. Anyway, that's it for me. Have a fantastic, not just a good, not a really awesome, but a fantastic rest of your week. All if you don't, no pressure. That's fine too. You do you. Everything's fine. All right. Cheers.